Hi, Bert.
Thanks so much for taking the time out. You must be so busy right now.
Pretty busy, but doing good.
Exciting time for you. Really excited. For those of you guys that don't know, Demi's got an album coming out on April 2nd that we're going to talk about called Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over. I want to talk about this documentary, though. You blew me away, girl. Blew me away.
Thank you so much.
So bring me to the time where I'm sure you've seen it already, right? Or is this something like I didn't even want to see it?
Oh no, I've seen it.
So bring me to the time like right before you either sat down to watch it. I don't know if you're in a movie room, if you're in your living room. Are you breathing heavy? Are you having anxiety? Are you not sure what you're going to see?
Oh yeah, it was me, the director of the movie, Michael Ratner, and also my day-to-day manager, Scott. And we were in my theater room and they had told me, we're going to watch this there's just no amount of preparation that you can do before you watch something that'll literally like throw you back into a period of your life that you were living that was so heavy. You can't predict that. So I just I kind of just like, I said, okay, let's go. We pressed play. I didn't make it 60 seconds into the documentary without crying.
Really?
And all of a sudden, I was like, I need you guys to pause it. And they were like, we haven't even gotten through 60 seconds. This is not looking good. And I was like, no, I literally miss touring and performing that much to where I miss my fans. Like this was, you have to understand, probably like November of COVID. And I just hadn't seen an audience in so long that I just started crying.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, I got myself together and I powered through, and then I kept playing. I had a physical, visceral reaction to watching that documentary. I started shaking, like I just obviously was crying. It was a lot. It was a lot for me to go through again, but I made it. I made it through, and ended up being good. So.
Was there anything said by any of your friends or staff? Because if you guys haven't seen it yet, you got to check it out on YouTube. It's called Dancing with the Devil. And it's so incredibly authentic. And you just rip your soul open. And I think your staff and some friends were like, this is really what you guys want? You want me to talk about all this? Was there anything that was said that you were like, I really wish we would have taken that out?
No, there literally was. The thing is like, I didn't hold back in my interviews because I said that the very first interview, I said, I'm not going to hold anything back. If you guys don't like anything, like, because my publicist was in the room and I was like, I don't know how much she wants me to say on this, but I was like, at least we have it. And then we can delete the footage later. I don't want to have to go and think, oh man, I wish I had said this, and then have to go refilm an interview and hire a crew. It's just a lot. So I was like, I'm just going to get it all out of the way. And then if we don't want to use stuff, we don't have to. That was kind of how open I wanted to be, was an ongoing conversation with me and my therapists, because we wanted to make it as conducive to my healing journey as possible. And so, I said, pretty much everything. And we didn't take anything out because I think those moments of complete honesty and transparency is what really makes this documentary different from a lot of other maybe celebrity stories. A lot of people will hold stuff out to save face of someone's image, but I didn't have anything to save. Everyone already knows where I ended up.
So brave. Is there a price to pay for being so shockingly authentic?
Is there a price to pay? Yes. I think that every time I do an interview talking about the documentary, having to answer questions, I think is about particular subjects can be difficult to relive. But I think everyone's been so respectful. Most people have been so respectful of this journey and this process that I really haven't come across anybody that's been disrespectful. It's been good.
God, now I got to check through my notes and make sure I'm not going to be the first one.
Oh, no. I'm sure you're good.
As I'm watching this documentary, as a parent, I'm just like, I wanted to reach through the screen and like hug you, because everybody goes through pain. Everybody goes through pain, but Demi, you've gone through a lot of pain here. And I was thinking, like, outside of right now, where clearly you're on this really healthy spiritual journey, as I'm watching the documentary, I'm like thinking to myself, has there been a time in your life where you experienced long-term authentic happiness up until this point?
No.
Wow.
Because I thought that I had, I thought that I was happy for several years, because I was going through the motions and I was doing what people told me I should be doing, instead of looking at my life and saying, what do I want out of it? What works for me and what doesn't work? Not what is working for other people regarding me.
Yeah.
I had to make my own choices, and it's this freedom that I've never had before, even with food alone. My food journey has been so incredible, because like I eat Taco Bell when I want, and I don't feel bad about it when I do get it now. It's like 3 years ago I couldn't even keep it down, let alone like just enjoy it with my friends. And so this kind of like autonomy, me making choices for myself down to what I put into the food that I put into my mouth, I feel like the sense of it's empowerment and liberation, and it's inspiring.
That is, it's inspiring to listen to, and it's inspiring to watch also. Why, it's such a sad statement that you said, I haven't been authentically happy up until recently. Why would anybody choose to be a celebrity with all the pressure that you talk about in the documentary? You're having to watch everything that you put in your mouth. You're being controlled. At some point, did you ever ask yourself, is this a life that I really want?
Well, you have to understand, I started dealing with depression as young as 7 years old. And so it's not fame that made me an unhappy person. It may have exacerbated it at certain times, the difficulties that I encounter on a day-to-day basis. But for a period of time, I genuinely thought that this industry and pursuing my dreams is what would keep me alive, because I had dealt with really bad bullying when I was 12 years old, and I left public school, and I had thought to myself, like, if I don't have something to look forward to, what's the point anymore? And so I made music that thing to look forward to, and that gave me a purpose. And so if anything, I feel like this industry has saved my life at times rather than my downfall. But I think at times when I wasn't making choices for myself in this life, yes, I did think, what is the point? What's the point of doing this if I'm not happy? And I felt like I was stuck in this position of like, any other career path is not going to work for me, because I love music so much that I won't be happy if I'm not doing it. But I hate fame so much. So I was like, what do I do? And I was like stuck in this position and trying to please people, but also just wanting to be happy myself. And finally, after years of working on it and working on myself, like I've come to a place where I feel genuinely happy and content. And it's not always this way, it fluctuates just like anything in life. It ebbs and flows. But my base level is no longer down here. up here, and it's really nice.
It must feel so freeing. For the first time in such a long time, you must feel free.
I do.
That's phenomenal. I'm not exactly sure how to phrase this, but it feels like to me that, of course, music is your purpose, but also throughout everything going on in your life, your voice has always remained amazing, I think. And it sounds as strong now as it ever has. So I'm wondering, I'm gonna get a little woo-woo and a little spiritual here. I'm wondering if like this was your purpose, is that God put this voice in you to get through this all, keep that voice so you could pass this message on to those that are struggling also.
Oh, I mean, I would love to think that, I'd love to try to see the bright side in all of this. And I feel like my voice has evolved. It's definitely gotten stronger over the past couple years because I haven't been touring. I haven't been singing my heart out. I've been resting it, and it's been really nice to have that downtime. But yeah, I am excited to get back on the road and perform and to help people, because that's ultimately what it's about. If I thought that singing was just about standing on a stage and looking cool and showing off the high notes I can hit, I would have been bored with that 15 years ago. Like, it's just so much more than that to me.
Yeah, that sounds so vapid. I don't feel like you've got a vapid bone in your body. All right, one more question, then we want to talk about the good stuff, the album. So if now Demi could go back to young Demi at any point in her life, you pick an age, what is the advice you give to young Demi, and what year and how old are you?
I would be 12, and 12 was a really hard year for me because I was desperately trying to fit in. I had been bullied, I wanted to make friends, and I just made a lot of bad choices. I think that if I could go back in time, I would say, like, stay focused, and also don't stop eating, because you're beautiful no matter what anyone, no matter what beauty ideals anyone pushes on you. You're beautiful, and those choices are gonna alter the course of your life, so don't do it.
All right, the fun stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get to the album. Demi has an album coming out on April 2nd, Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over. I listened to 4 cuts yesterday. Damn. Now, I don't know whose idea it was to get you and Ariana Grande on the same album, on the same cut. How does that process even work? Is that your idea? After you write a song, you going, hey, can somebody call Ariana, or do you call her or text her directly? How does that whole process work?
So this process actually was kind of unique. She had written the song for me, and I had played her Dancing with the Devil back in 2019. And she had heard the song, loved it. And then when she started writing this one, she had heard about, she knew my story and the things that I had been through. And she started writing this song. And then when she played it for me, I was like, you got to stay on this. Like, we finally have a song to sing together. We've been wanting to collaborate for years. And then she was like, are you sure? Like, I was just gonna maybe do harmonies in the background. And I was like, no, like, we have to do this for real. And so we did, and she killed it. And I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
Those two voices together at some point, fingers crossed, guys both get on a stage together and sing on stage together. And I can only imagine the explosion of emotion and how amazing that is going to sound.
Oh, thanks. Me too.
Give us some highlights from the album also. Dancing with the Devil obviously is being played all over the place right now, and it's fantastic. But other highlights that we'll hear on April 2nd.
Other highlights. I mean,
which is tomorrow. Which is tomorrow, and I think about it.
Yeah, it is. Well, technically 9 p.m.
Okay.
California time, and in Eastern, and that would be midnight Eastern, so technically midnight tonight.
I'm so messed up when it comes to time because of coronavirus. It's like I have no ideas anymore.
Yeah, I am so confused. I can't watch anything on live TV anymore because I'm like, I don't know. I can't calculate it. I have to, someone has to do it for me. Anyways, what was the question?
I don't even remember. I think I think some highlights of the album. Like, what are you?
Yes.
You're proud of the entire album, I'm sure, but like some highlights for you. Like if you're taking these cuts right here, these are the ones you got to listen to right here first because they're awesome.
Well, obviously, I love all of the collaborations. I'm really excited about those. But I think some of the songs that best represent like who I am today is the kind of lover I am. That really explains to people like my sexuality a bit more. And California Sober is really important to me. There's tons of songs that I'm really excited about. And obviously the Art of Starting Over, you know, that one I really, really love and I'm excited about too.
Okay, now as a guy that's from California, I think I know what California Sober is.
Yeah.
All right, so this means like when you're recovering, you're not 100% not doing anything. That still means drinking and smoking weed, right?
So it can mean a different thing to many different people. I think for me, like I don't shy away from being open about the fact that I consider it to be a very green term for me.
Uh-huh.
And like, you know, I think it was just a term that there wasn't really a term for this middle path that I'm on, which is yeah, it's not complete abstinence, but it's harm reduction basically. And I kind of threw that word on it because I'd heard that term from someone else, and I was like, that's brilliant. Like I love that. And so it's yeah, it's not an official term by any means, but it's just something that kind of helped me put a label to this middle path. And yeah, you can make of it what you want.
Was this a have any therapist said to you like, that's Demi, that's not gonna work, like you think that's your path but this is not gonna work, and then you sort of said, no, I know what's gonna work for me now?
Honestly, there were so many conversations that took place around that one topic. I think by the time that I had decided what I was going to do, and I was honest with my team, I think they were so supportive, and they were so that I didn't feel shamed or anything. Like I had people around me that were like, how can we best support you? What are the safety parameters we can put in place so that you are best supported? And I think that's what was really cool, is to have a team of people that were encouraging and not like shooting me down before I even had a chance to explore it, you know. And I'm not saying that this works for everybody. I'm definitely not, but I had to try something because the other solution didn't work for me.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you're at a time now where just everybody is pulling for you. And I think the performance at the Grammys won everybody over. And I think it was such a symbol also, sort of like what you're going through. Is like you start, you stumble, you take a breath, and then you just kick ass. And I think at this point, people are just really rooting for you in a big way. And I hope the album just is everything that you hope it's going to be.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being an inspiration. And before I go, I know that you got something going on TikTok also, Headstream. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have a show coming out on TikTok, a live stream show that I am really excited about. So yeah.
And that one's coming out, I think, on also tomorrow at, if I got this right, 4:00 Western time,
Yes.
West Coast time. All right, Demi, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the album and continued health.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
It's The Bert Show.